What happens when you mix a brilliant Carthaginian strategist, bound by an oath, restless Gallic warriors, and a herd of war elephants? You get the Second Punic War, a brutal, 17-year contest where Rome nearly collapsed but somehow emerged stronger than ever. In this retelling, we'll walk through the entire journey, from Hannibal's daring Alpine trek to the fateful duel at Zama. Strap in, it's a tale of blood, resilience, and unexpected triumph. Hannibal Unchained. The spark was lit in 219 BC at the Spanish city of Saguntum. Rome vowed to defend it. Hannibal vowed to obliterate it. 8 grueling months later, Saguntum lay in ruins. Rome demanded Hannibal's surrender. Carthage refused, and just like that, the Second Punic War began. Hannibal's response was audacious. Instead of sitting comfortably in Spain or guarding Carthage itself, he launched the impossible. An invasion of Italy, not by sea but through Gaul, across the Alps, in the dead of winter with elephants in tow. The journey was sheer misery. Ambushes, freezing snow, hunger, and deadly terrain decimated his force. Tens of thousands perished. Yet, against all odds, Hannibal emerged from the mountains with a battle-hardened army, ready to strike. Rome had no idea what was coming. The warning shot came at the river Ticinus, where Hannibal's cavalry humiliated Roman scouts. Soon after, at Trebia, he lured an impulsive consul into crossing an icy river at dawn with exhausted troops. The result? Rome lost 25,000 men in a single morning, Rome reeling. By 217 BC, Hannibal pressed further. Instead of storming Rome directly, he drove his men through fetid marshes so foul that soldiers drowned where they slept, animals decayed in the muck, and Hannibal himself lost an eye to infection. Still, he rode forward on an elephant, half-blind but unbroken. This maneuver put him behind Roman lines. Consul Flaminius scrambled to intercept but stumbled into an ambush at Lake Trasimene. From the surrounding hills, Carthaginians thundered down, cavalry sealed the exits, and the lake swallowed fleeing soldiers. Out of 40,000 Romans, barely 10,000 survived. Flaminius wasn't among them. Rome seemed on the brink of collapse. Desperation led to an extraordinary move, appointing a dictator. Enter Quintus Fabius Maximus, nicknamed the Delayer. His plan: refuse open battle, shadow Hannibal, cut off supplies, and drag the war into exhaustion. Romans hated it. No glory, no victories, just patience. Hannibal mocked him by torching everything except Fabius's lands. Political rivals smeared him as a traitor. Yet Fabius's restraint kept Rome alive long enough to regroup. Cannae, Rome's darkest hour. Patience has limits. In 216 BC, the hot-headed consul Gaius Terentius Varro promised to end the cowardice and destroy Hannibal once and for all. Rome gathered its largest army ever, 80,000 infantry and 6,000 cavalry, at the tiny village of Cannae. Hannibal chose the battlefield, flat plains, perfect for cavalry. He arranged his troops in a crescent formation, baiting Rome's dense infantry to push forward. At first it worked, his center buckled. But that was the trap. His African infantry closed on both flanks, while his cavalry circled around and struck from behind. What followed was pure massacre. Encircled and suffocating, the Romans were butchered. By dusk, as many as 70,000 lay dead, including senators, a consul, and much of Rome's leadership. Carthage even dumped 6,000 Roman rings onto the Senate floor to prove the slaughter. This could have ended Rome. But instead of surrendering, the Republic doubled down. They refused ransom, conscripted teenagers, and even slaves, and prepared for a war of endurance. Hannibal had inflicted Rome's greatest defeat, but not its destruction. Rome fights back. After Cannae, Hannibal expected Italy's cities to defect en masse. Some did, but Rome retaliated with merciless efficiency. Any city siding with Carthage was crushed, sending a chilling warning: join Hannibal and you'll burn. Meanwhile, Rome fought on other fronts. In Sicily, Carthage allied with Syracuse, whose defenses were designed by the genius Archimedes. He engineered machines that could pluck ships from the sea and possibly even burn sails with mirrors. For 2 years, Rome struggled, but eventually Syracuse fell. Archimedes was killed, and Sicily returned to Roman control. Rome also tied up Carthage's Greek allies, keeping Macedon's King Philip V too busy to lend real help. And in Spain, a young Roman commander began to change the game. The rise of Scipio. Publius Cornelius Scipio was barely in his 20s when his father and uncle were slain in Spain. Instead of collapsing, he stepped forward. Scipio didn't fight like a traditional Roman general. He studied Hannibal's tactics and adapted them: ambushes, feints, sudden strikes. Even more radical, he treated local populations with respect, winning allies instead of enemies. His bold seizure of New Carthage in a single day shocked both Rome and Carthage. At Ilipa, he outmaneuvered a larger Carthaginian army by shifting formations mid-battle, turning near certain defeat into overwhelming victory. By 206 BC, Spain-Carthage's vital resource hub was lost. Hannibal, trapped in Italy, now stood alone. Zama, the final reckoning. With Spain secured and Sicily in hand, Rome took the fight to Africa. Scipio crossed with a fresh army and a crucial ally. Numidian cavalry, once Hannibal's prized advantage, now fighting for Rome. In Africa, Scipio's victories forced Carthage to recall Hannibal after 16 years abroad. At last, the two titans would meet: Hannibal Barca, Rome's nightmare, against Scipio Africanus, the student who had learned from him. The final clash came in 202 BC at Zama. Hannibal led with elephants. Scipio countered by leaving corridors in his lines, letting the beasts charge harmlessly through before cutting them down. The infantry fight raged, Hannibal's veterans standing firm. But when Rome's cavalry returned after routing their opponents, they slammed into Hannibal's rear. The trap had sprung on Hannibal himself. Encircled and broken, his army collapsed. Hannibal escaped, but the war was finished. Aftermath: Carthage surrendered. They lost Spain, their fleet, and control over foreign affairs. Never again would they rival Rome. Hannibal went into exile, offering counsel to Rome's enemies until his death. Scipio returned as a national hero, forever remembered as Africanus. Rome had clawed its way from annihilation at Cannae to triumph at Zama. The enduring lesson: Rome's resolve was indestructible. Still, suspicion of Carthage lingered. For decades, Roman politicians ended speeches with the same chilling refrain: Carthage must be destroyed. 17 years of audacity, resilience, and relentless warfare, the Second Punic War. From Hannibal's elephants in the Alps to his final defeat at Zama, this was the conflict that forged Rome's unstoppable empire.